Hey guys, this is no Zaku Boy and welcome to another video. In this we're going to take a look at the photo etch detail set for the HG Gundam The Origin Zaku 1 machine gun from Liszters Workshop. I'll put a link in the description if you want to see his other awesome detail sets. We begin as usual removing the parts from the sprue with our trusty nippers. Here I'm cutting the connecting pegs on a 45-degree angle as I'm going to put an LED in and want the parts to come apart easier. Now with the gun together we can see what it looks like out of the box. I always assemble everything before I make any modifications as I like to have an idea of what I'm starting from. For the first step I cut off the peg where the original barrel goes and file it down smooth. Then using a sharp hobby knife I mark out the centre and use that as a guide to use a pin vise and drill out the barrel. I later found out the flash hider was designed to go the other way around without needing the previous steps, but in my case this worked out well. With that fitted I begin cutting away the excess plastic inside the gun so I can run the LED wires. The LED I'm using is a 0402 SMD LED which I buy pre-wired from eBay. It is now a good time to also test out the LED. With the LED working we can then feed the wires into the body, then using the CA glue we can fix the flash hider and wires in place. Using plastic cement we can glue the gun body together and set that aside to dry. While the body dries we can start on the magazine. We begin by filing down the top to create a flat surface. Using a hobby knife I cut out the parts for the magazine. Just don't expect to use this knife on anything after this. After the parts are cut out I use a diamond file to clean up the gates. We then apply CA glue to the top of the magazine and attach the top cover, before doing the same for the bottom cover. One step I'd recommend doing now is this. I did it after and it was more of a pain with the photo etch already stuck on. I wanted to separate the stock a bit so I decided to remove the center notch. I begin by drilling out as much as I could before using a sharp hobby knife to cut away the excess, followed by filing as much as I could. We then need to remove the top peg that originally held the magazine in place as it is no longer required. After that we start on the front guard, removing the parts and cleaning up in the same way. Once they were cleaned up using some flat nose pliers, I bent the guard to shape, checking it on the gun as I went along. Once I was happy, I repeated the same with the bottom guard and then glued them to the body. We then glued the side, bottom and top rails on as well. We then need to fold the front sight up and back before gluing it onto the barrel. Then we need to fold up the receiver and rear sight. There are photo etch tools that make this job a lot easier, but I'm using what I have on hand. I use an old pair of nippers to do this last fold as the space is a bit small for my large pliers. Just don't use your good ones for this. We then fold up the rear sight and glue it into place. We then test fit it over the body and the piece for the charging handle. A cool feature is if you only glue the sides of the receiver onto the body, the handle can slide freely. Once that's done, we can fix the side covers on it and then fold up the ejection port and glue that onto the bottom. With that, onto the scope. We fold up the cover and glue it to the front and then glue the rear cover on. With the final pieces glued on, the detail upset is done. Now we are ready for some paint. And here's almost the final product. We just need a coat of paint and it can be cold finished. I hope you enjoyed this video and don't forget to check out Liszters' workshop for other cool photo etch parts. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for further videos. This has been No Zaku Boy. Thanks for watching.